What's up? It's Mike Brown. Welcome to Reflections Encouragement with Mike Brown. And just thanks for tuning in, watching as I work to share some reflections from the past weeks, months, and also, along with that, share some words of encouragement as we all approach the weeks, days, and months ahead. My goal is to hopefully inspire and impact the lives of two people. One is myself. The second is at least one of you that might be tuning in. And thanks for this opportunity. Thanks for joining. As I reflect on this past week, number one, it was a pretty busy travel week for me. I don't travel as much as I used to, but this was a pretty busy one where I was in Denver to meet up with some colleagues and spent quality time with them. And then I was out in San Francisco visiting a few schools and engaging with them to help kind of further the mission of education, working with a number of people out there, which was just a blessing, a great trip there. Then I came back to wonderful news in that Monk Malloy's new book on leadership, People First, which is the first nonfiction adult book that is being published through my publishing company, Soulster Books. That book, the paperback version, arrived. And so we're in the middle of getting those books distributed and fulfilled, as orders fulfilled. So really excited about that. Happy with the way it turned out. And so very excited to get this book into the hands of many of you who support the project. It's a book on leadership, and I think it's one that I think it's something that everyone's going to really enjoy. And there's a few nuggets at minimum that I think everyone will get out of it, especially if you're a young or emerging leader, or if you've been leading different organizations for a long time. But excited about that book being out and getting out into the world. Also came back to my daughter went to a Barbie party and I took her. That's why I'm wearing pink. If you're watching, you can see I'm wearing pink today. Just came from a Barbie party, and it was a great time. And then we also went to Sky Zone yesterday to let my daughter meet up with some friends that she hadn't seen in a while. And that was fun too. I'm still sore from that, but just a great time. I'm recording this on Sunday, by the way, Sunday, October 1st, 2023. I didn't mention that earlier, but today's Sunday, October 1st, 2023. But the last thing I'll share is I was also very blessed and fortunate to go see one of my favorite artists, period. Her name is CeCe Winans, and I've been following her journey and listening to her songs, her music for a very long time, to say the least. I mean, as old as I remember, as long as I remember. And so I don't know, she's just an amazing, incredible artist. Yeah, I could say so much about her, but you may have, if you've listened to some of the earlier episodes that I recorded of this show, there were a number of her songs that I incorporated into the show as I started it out. I used to start with music as I kind of came into the show, but there's at least 2, maybe 3 times at minimum that I had her songs as the intro. But my wife and I had a wonderful time attending her concert. It's a Believe For It tour, and there were about 4 or 5 dates announced in different parts of the country where she was having the show. And I was in the middle of about to get a ticket to fly to one of these cities to see this show, because the music that's in it really carried me through some tough times in 2020 and 2021 especially. And so I wanted to see her perform live. And then just a few weeks ago, I found out that she was actually coming to South Bend, Indiana, and performing at Notre Dame, which was, I mean, come on, you can't make this stuff up. I'm like, she's coming here to me. So it was pretty cool. But just a wonderful experience to see her live. I was very blessed to actually also, get great seats to see and just experience experience the whole environment that she set the stage for. It was more than a concert. It was it was an experience, and one that you left uplifted, and you left with a positive and just go forward and do good type of mindset coming out of it. But your soul was also stirred. But had a chance to enjoy it. Great seats, thanks to a great friend, a good friend, and also was able and blessed to meet her after the show. Again, these are the seats I had, the seats that we had, the meeting her after the show were not things that were planned ahead of time. These are just people being a blessing in our lives and creating these opportunities. And it was just a blessing to meet her. One of the things that I talk about with CeCe Winans is she's more than about her music. It's really part of her ministry, and music is just one way that she can communicate about her ministry and serving God, being vessels for good. And that's what I actually told her, that I was like, I've been following your ministry for a long time. I love what you're doing, and just thank you. And I had a chance to actually say that to her in person. She signed a book that I purchased of hers, and just a beautiful human being, and one that's she's very inspiring to me, because she's been doing this for a minute. I think she said she was celebrating her 59th birthday. I think her birthday's October 7th is what she said, and she was gonna turn 59. So she's been at this thing for a minute, and it's just been so consistent, and it's been a beautiful thing to witness. Now, the reason why I say that her songs carried me through 2020 and 2021 is that mostly in two things. One, in 2020, her songs really helped me as I was trying to figure out my purpose in life, figure out what my gifts were, figure out my passion, and really trying to figure out what my role was throughout the pandemic, and how I could help contribute in a positive way toward inspiring people and even helping myself just navigate all the things that we were going through during that time. But a lot of her songs are songs I listened to when I was making my runs and all that. So that was one thing. And I continued to listen to them in 2021. And I'm so glad I did, because it was on August 26, 2021, that I had my very first seizure. And then I had another one on September 18th. And then another one, and another one. I think in total now, over the last 2 years, I've probably had a good 15 or so seizures. But throughout that entire journey, thanks to God and Him keeping me safe in His care throughout that whole time, there are a number of songs that CeCe Winans had on that Believe. It's called the Believe For It album. And there are a number of songs that really carried me through all those things, right? I'm having seizures. I'm trying to publish my first book, get my company off the ground, doing just a lot of different things, being the best husband, being the best dad I could be, and just a lot of different things going on. Wasn't driving, frustrated through dealing with just the seizures and not knowing why they were happening. So there's just a lot of stuff that was going on. But she had one song, it's called Never Lost. And the song is about God never losing a battle, and He never will. And that song just speaks for itself, right? It's like God has literally never lost a battle, and and He never will. And she talks about how, God can just do all things. And so when you got that type of God on your side, it's like, you know what, you're good. So many people talked about how I tried to stay very positive and optimistic, although there were definitely frustrating moments. But throughout the whole journey, dealing with seizures and not knowing why they're happening, knowing I got a God that can do all things, knowing that I got a God who's never lost a battle and never will, it just gives you a level of comfort as you go through these things. So many times as I was having a seizure, I could have hit my head. One time I was almost going to drive a car, but I had it before I got in the car, which was fantastic. I mean, it was a blessing, if you will, because it could have been disastrous. And just a number of things happened, but it's like God can do all things. And yeah, that song carried me through a lot of that. The second song that also carried me through that is Believe for It. And in that song, it says, God can move the immovable, break the unbreakable, if we believe for it. So think about that. Moving the immovable, breaking the unbreakable. And those are just powerful words. Again, when you got a God that's able to do that, it's like you're good. So I just really thank God for her and making that music and the team that put it together and just planting those words and those songs in my heart, because they really did. They really did come in handy over the last several years, and they still do today. Now, as I think about my encouragement for us as we approach the days, weeks, and months ahead, the one thing that I'd say kind of stands out with everything I said is really, and this again tying to CeCe Winans, she's really embraced the fact that she's using her gifts of song and she's using her ministry for good. And I think as we take our gifts, no matter what your gift may be, and just embracing our gifts and then really working on focusing on how we can use them to do good in the world, I think we'll be straight. I think, she does. I mean, these songs are taking place. She doesn't know how they deeply impact me personally. Just like I don't know, right, how this podcast or how this show might impact someone personally. Just like you, as you do something in your life, whether it's a simple hello, greeting somebody, treating somebody kind, you name it, you don't know how that can deeply impact somebody else's life and even yours. So my encouragement as we approach it again, days, weeks, months ahead, is that we truly embrace our gifts and use them for good, because you just never know how they'll impact somebody's lives in a positive way. All right, take care. God bless. Let's go.